Star Red GX. No way! Dude, what a pull! For Matt, a small creator on YouTube. Matt is a creator who covered my Error Pikachu. I still have it, actually. This right here. This is how I got to meet Matt virtually. He did a video on this Error Pikachu that I pulled from Topps Chrome Series 1, and look at that. Look at that misalignment. That is crazy. And he covers error cards and things like that. So, Matt, this is for you. I don't know what your assessment is on this. I have no idea what the price is on this bad boy.
I know.
15 EX. If you happen to capture this, that is something that you can talk about. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate your stuff. Yeah, Matt's good people.
Well, let's talk about it.
Why, hello there. My name is Matt. I talk about Error Pokemon cards, and if you've clicked into the video to see the price of DeepPocketMonster's card, I implore you to stick around a little bit. Maybe I can teach you a little bit about error cards. It's a fun subsect of the Pokemon TCG. Maybe you'll learn something and see if you have any of these error cards in your collection. Now let's get started. Play that music. So here we have a Feraligatr from Phantom Forces with that fat bottom miscut. Alignment dot on the bottom right corner. On the back, you can see it's still a fat bottom with alignment dot, but showing a little bit more of the top there, which is interesting. So it's a little bit misaligned too. Sold for $25 and added around $21 of value. So I think the coolest errors we see from Prismatic Evolutions is these texture shifts. This one sold for $60. We have a Flareon, and look at that. Destructive Flame shifted up. Everything's shifted up, really, but the text is always the coolest part to see with this. Oh, even the evolution circle is shifted up. So cool. The average non-error price for this bad boy is $3.50, so that gives us a 1,600% error value increase. And next up we have a Lacey from Prismatic Evolutions with a texture shift, and this one's neat, but so it sold for $70. Look at this. Oh! We got the ghost of Lacey floating above her. So cool. Obviously the text is shifted up, everything's shifted up. The more you look at it, the cooler it is. This sold for a lot. Average non-error price, $2.01. So that gives us a 3,383% error value increase. Which is unfortunately not in the top 10 still, but just a really incredible card. Look at that. We got the ghost right there. Oh, so cool. And obviously in perfect condition. PSA 8, Shining Gyarados with a double hollow error. So if you don't know what a double hollow is, basically the hollow foil is doubled up, and there's different way to tell for each card whether it's a double hollow or not. With Gyarados, you need more photos, but you'll see hollow on Gyarados itself and on the fisherman here. Versus here, you won't see any hollow. This sold for $1,600 and added $700 of value. Goodness. And next up, we have a Bellsprout from Unbroken Bonds, and this is the Big Brain miscut. You can see another card on top here. Oh, so cool. Sold for $20 this week. Man, that is awesome. We have a couple alignment dots there too, and a couple other alignment dots on the back just barely showing. So cool. EVI of 1,900%. Boy, nothing in the top 10 just yet. So next up, we have a Mew from XY Evolutions with a Hollow Bleed, or it could be known as low ink error. The hollow shines through outside of the art box here. A really incredible one, always looks cool on XY Evolutions cards, and this sold for $200. Very pretty. Next up we have a Persian from Jungle Set, and this is a crazy miscut. Crazy for vintage cards. Look at this. So shifted over, we have an alignment dot on the top right here. Thick border, thin border, just all around a mess up card. Really, really neat. The back is pretty normal, actually. Kind of hard to see with these funky photos, but it looks like a misalignment. So the front is messed up, back is pretty normal. This sold for $64.05, I believe, in auction, yes. Average non-error price for that's just regular Persian, $1.66. So that gives us 3,758% for that error value increase, which is good enough for number 8 this week. Finally have one in the top 10. So cool. Oh, I love my vintage miscuts here. Next up, we have a Candela from Pokemon Go with a miscut. Now this got shifted over so far that we have a couple square corners here. Upper right, bottom right with the alignment dot. Square, square, and obviously consistent on the back. An alignment dot right here. Man, that's a neat one. Always cool when it kind of morphs the shape of a Pokemon card. You know, it's not just round corners. We got some square in there. $50. I think I may know who bought this too. Average non-error price, $1.19. So the EVI of 4,101% is good enough for number 6 this week. Next up, we have a Chinese Umbreon Hollow, graded a CGC 8.5 with a crimp error. Sold for almost $900. What is a crimp, might you ask? So there's a machine that closes the plastic around the packs before they get shipped out. And sometimes the pack can get misaligned and the crimping machine can actually crimp down on the cards themselves. They leave this indentation. Usually seen on the top or the bottom of the card. Sometimes it can cut in half. Really cool. Add some value to it. We can see sold for $900. Average non-error price is around $200. So because this pack got misaligned, it added $700 of value. Alright, Pat, thank you again for the call out. Let's talk about this card. How would I find out how much this card is worth? We'd want to look at similar cards that got sold from this set. So this is Obsidian Flames. We have Obsidian Flames EX Miscut. We'll scroll down and we will see which cards got sold. And we have a few here. So with each of these cards, we can see the sale price was around $30 for these miscuts, and they are similar severity. Shifted to the right, oddly enough. And so if we take a look at this, we have just the best accepted offer price to make sure that we have the actual sale price. And then here's the raw price for each of these cards without the error. So around $1.70 is similar to the Victini EX. This card is a little bit cheaper and sold for a little bit less. Shipping price was a little bit higher too, give or take a few cents. This is a little bit higher, but sold for $30, $2.40, $30, $1.64, and $25, but pricier shipping too. Pretty confidently say this card's worth around $30, but also if it was owned by DeepPocketMonster, it might go for a little bit more. I hope that helped, Pat. I hope that helps, Pat, and thank you again for the call out, and I'll always be here to help you find error prices if you need it. Thanks. Next up, we have a Vaporeon from Jungle Set with a miscut. Maybe off-center. Hard to tell with these crazy photos. Okay, so it looks like it's a little off-center on the front. The back is misaligned. It would be that fat bottom misalignment right here. See, thicker and thinner. I can't tell which way is up with these photos. This sold for $176.50, which is quite a lot for a Vaporeon from Jungle Set. Goodness. So this added around $170 of value. Really neat. An EVI of 1900%. Next up, we have a Lapras from My First Battle. Why do we have this on the error recap? The back's in French. How does this happen? I don't know, but really cool it did. Sold for $45. Look at this. Okay, My First Battle. Mon premier combat. It's pretty good, actually. Alright. Average non-error price, $1.25. So EVI of around 3,500%, which just got edged out of the top 10. It's probably 11 or 12. Here we have an absolute classic in the error community. Base set Beedrill with the D.E fending error. Sold for $190. Additional period right here. So D.E fending. Really neat repeating error, always sells for a lot. Card's not in good shape and still sold for $190. That shows how rare it is. Average non-error price, $388. So EVI of 4,797%. That's good enough for number 3 this week. Yeah, that's a neat card. I love it. Oh man. Again, really not in good shape either, so that for it to sell for that much is crazy. 2022 Fighting Energy Wonky Miscut. Wonky is when it's twisted. Alignment dot in the upper left corner. You can see here's where another card would be, but it's twisted. And it's almost, I think it's bigger than a regular Pokemon card too. Very clear on the back too, alignment dot. You can see just how messed up this is. And yeah, really neat. Sold for $40 and added $38 of value. Next up, we have Reverse Hollow Squirtle. And this is a Cosmos foil. And this is a square cut error. So if you don't know, when Pokemon cards are cut, it happens in 2 different segments. There's the big uncut sheet, and then it cuts them into a square like this, and then a second machine cuts it and it rounds the corners. Well, this one did not get the corners rounded, and so we're left with a square cut. Alignment dot in the bottom right corner, and the back alignment dot in the bottom left corner. Another alignment dot right there, maybe. Very neat. This sold for $100. Average non-error price, $2.20. So 4,445% for the EVI is good enough for number 4 this week. Next up, Shadowless Squirtle with the red diamond error. Sold for $140 for a PSA 4. If you don't know, I've sold a lot of these in my days. I like finding them when they're not listed as errors, and I sell them, and I usually make, good profit. And I always thought this one was listed for way too much. It's been listed for a very long time, but if you're patient enough, it'll pay off, and it will sell for closer to what you want. And this sold for exactly what they wanted. Good for them. Right here, red diamond error. There's a red diamond over the V and the E in prevent. Yes, look at that. I think I sold a PSA 10 for $600, $700. I forget how much it was, but yeah, definitely a really cool repeating error. And this added $125 of value. CGC 10 Scyther from Jungle Set with the no symbol error. Symbol here, no symbol here. I'm surprised this doesn't sell for more because it's a perfect 10, right? Which is, yeah, well, let's look at the numbers in a second. Sold for $500. Now, average non-error price for a CGC 10 is $187. Now, a PSA 10 for a no symbol sells for $1,100. BGS Black Label, $7,500. So, I don't know, CGC is not getting the love they deserve. I know they recognize errors, but everyone would recognize this error. It's just, it's crazy, the discrepancy in price. You can see average error price for a CGC 10 is around $320. So this did sell for quite a bit more than the average error price. Next up, we have a Magikarp from Scarlet and Violet. And this is a repeating printer hickey, a very large one. This is called the Ink Splash iCarp error. The MAG is covered up by this repeating printer hickey. Really neat. Always sells for between $40 and like $70 and $80. You can see this one sold for $50. Average non-error price, $1.33. So 3,659% is good enough for number 10. First edition, Dark Dragonite, no holo error. It says 582, that's reserved for the holo, but this is a non-holo. Very neat repeating error, and it sells for a lot. CGC 6, sold for $1,500. Very, very neat. Average non-error price is $40 for a grade 6. So 3,700% for the EVI is good enough for number 9 this week. And we have average error pricing, but it's really old. And there's also no grade 6 pricing, unfortunately. So not really worth mentioning. But PSA 10s were 3,200, old pricing. And BGS Black Label is 20,000. Goodness. PSA 10, Ancient Mew with the Nintendo error. Third and in Nintendo is missing here. A neat repeating error. Usually sells for $2,000. I was like, oh man, $2,800. This is gonna be great. Well, best accepted offer price was $1,025, which seems odd. If the seller did accept this offer, that's not good. Yeah, so someone may have gotten a crazy good deal here. First edition Hitmonlee from Fossil Set, which is probably the coolest named error. It's called Stainmonlee. This is the cigar stain error. Ranges in severity. Largest can be 2 yellow streaks going here. Smallest will be a little streak just right here. Sold for $425. Holy cow, that is awesome. Card looks like it's in good shape. Could grade well and sell for even more then. Here we have a measly Onyx from base set. CGC 4.5. Why did it sell for $450? Well, the back is inverted and misaligned. Look at this. Big border. Pokeball is upside down. You'll see holos with inverted, misaligned backs not sell for this much. So good for this person. I know this has been listed for a very long time. If this is a legit sale, that's crazy. Average non-error price for a 4.5 base set Onyx is $5.50. So, that gives us 8,082% for the EVI, which is good enough for number 2 this week. Lapras from Fossil Set with the Holo Bleed. Holo Bleeds are much rarer on vintage cards. Holo poking through there. Look at that. Let's just click through real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that is pretty. This sold for more than I thought it should, though. There's a lot of photos. We like it. Okay. This sold for $300, just about. Holo Bleeds don't add that much value, usually. Maybe you'll see, like, at the most, like, 5 to 10x the price. I guess this is already kind of a cheaper card, but this was insane to me. Nationwide suppliers, you know what you're doing. Congrats. This added, like, $285 of value. Dang. For those of you who don't know, I like Venusaur, and I like Venusaur error cards, so I'm very happy to report we have a few here. So we have a wonky Venusaur EX. We can see another card here. Little border. Thicker border, and And on the back, consistent, and this is edge of sheet miscut. So uncut sheet is a big sheet with like 140 cards. Only the ones on the outside can be a possibility of an edge of sheet miscut. And so we have the white right here showing that. And an alignment dot. Sold for $105.50. That is incredible. Average non-error price, $2.70. So 3,807% for the EVI is good enough for number 7 this week. Look at that, Mega Venusaur EX with a similar miscut to a card we have already talked about. Look at that. Alignment dot in the bottom right, very thin border, and right here, very thin border and thick. Sold for $55 and added $43 of value. Boy, I love my vintage miscuts. We'll go over this quickly. Base set Chansey, misaligned. Alignment dot in the bottom left corner. Back is pretty normal. It's a little misaligned, but nothing to write home about. This, you're writing home about. You're writing several letters home. Very neat. Sold for $130, and the average non-error price is only $16. Charizard EX from Paldean Fates. The one and only Wenzel TCG sold it. $175 for this bad boy. Look at that. So wonky again. We have thicker on the top, thinner on the bottom, and it meets at an alignment dot there. And on the back, it is consistent. Alignment dot, and then here's another card. Very neat. Average non-error price is around $4, so $4,297 for that EVI. It's good enough for number 5 this week. Next up, we had a pair of cards sale. So these are a obstruction error, more, I believe, a water obstruction error. So basically, in the printing process, they get rolled through the printing press, and so water got in the way of the printing process and did not allow one of the layers to fully set and adhere. And so that's why we get this. So cool on both. Not sure if these are connecting or not. Doesn't look like it. But really rare cards, so to sell 2 of these in a lot is really cool. And you can see the back is not affected by this. CGC 9 and CGC 8.5. Average non-error price for the pair of them would be around $180. So this added well over $800 of value, which is insane. Final card this week, Krabby from Fossil Set with the slash error. What is the slash error? It's missing ink on the fossil symbol here. Makes it look like it has a pointer finger. Really neat repeating error, always sells for a lot. Been number 1 quite a few times. Card's in okay condition. We got a little bit of whitening, but overall not too bad. Average non-error price, $1.24. That's why it's always so high for the EVI. 11,190% for that EVI, and obviously good enough for number 1 this week. This is a repeating error. Error pricing. Price charting has it, but they're recording every single sale that is Krabby from Fossil Set that has the word error in it. So I've seen a couple sell for $5. That's like a little printer hickey on the Krabby, and they factor that into the pricing. So they say the average error price is $51. That's definitely low, and I think they need to tweak their system a little bit. That's okay though. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. If you found out about me from if you found out about me from DeepPocketMonster, subscribe? I don't know, did you like this? I think error cards are pretty cool. I think it's a fun twist on the Pokemon TCG, and I just enjoy talking about the cards that got sold. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Goodbye.